Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, your two artsy gals. Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey, welcome to Two Artsy Gals. I am Katie.
And I am Sharon.
And we are going to talk about some super fun, kind of arty stuff today. We're going to look at mail art and talk about what it is and how much fun it is. And I will tell you how much I think you should do it because it's cool.
Right on.
I've been doing mail art for about 2 years, like in a group, but every time I try to look up like the meaning of mail or the like definition of mail art, there's kind of this big, it started in the 50s with the Fluxus movement. It started in the 60s with this. So if you want to have a formal definition of what it is, there's a Wikipedia page about mail art. You can go look that up. Or there's also Wise Geek has a nice little article about it. But I don't really want to get into all of that because it's not the fun part. But it's just what it is. It's mail art. And usually you make postcards with art on it. It's just art that is meant to be mailed. So in general, when I've done mail art, you do a postcard and you create the art on the postcard. Or you they're called altered envelopes. So you decorate the whole outside of the envelope. And sometimes you send it with something in the envelope. Sometimes it's just a sealed envelope that's meant to be pretty. And there's also naked mail, which is mailing an object not in a box. And you can alter it and decorate it. And we'll get more in depth with each of these as we go along. But those are kind of the basics of things that you can send through the mail. I inherited a mail art group from a friend, and actually Sharon's in the mail art group with me. So I've been doing it more lately than I had in the past. I've done like isolated naked mailings with a couple of art groups that I belong to, but now I actually host a monthly mail art swap. So it's kind of I've been kind of trying to think of fresh ideas. If you've come up with anything.
Okay.
Bounce it off me while we're here. Or listeners, please, mail me ideas. So, and Sharon, you've been a part of the group for a couple, 3 or 4 months now? Maybe
three
longer.
or 4 months.
Yeah. But also, I mentioned before we started, I think that people, especially anyone who's ever been a teenage girl, has probably done mail art and didn't realize they were doing mail art.
For sure.
Because, you always like when you mail a pen pal, send a letter to a pen pal as a kid, like you decorate up the envelope and make it look all cool and write on it and draw pictures on it. And that's mail art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I still do that. Add stickers to the outside, doodle on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Make it fancy. And I actually really like mail art because I love getting shit in the mail.
Well, I know. Who doesn't? I mean, and what a fun little surprise for somebody to get.
Sometimes we're on a training route, so we never have the same mail delivery person. But every once in a while, the mail delivery person gets really into, like, you get someone that thinks something's really cool and they ask you about it and comment on it and
cool.
Talk about it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I've had a couple of things like that with naked mail especially. Which, actually, let's just get into the naked mail because that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love it. Naked mail is, you can literally use anything that you can get a postage sticker on. Like, you can go to the post office and have them stick one of those crazy, your postage stickers with the barcode and all that. Anything you could fit one of those on, you can mail not in a package. And the post office is not going to tell you they can't do. Some people are kind of, you might run into a grumpy ass once in a while. There's a guy at our post office down here at the Multnomah station. He's just a grumpy asshole. He always is, and he's always crabby about stuff. He's worked there as long as I've lived in this neighborhood, And I'm always like, oh, that guy, when I go in there, if I have to go to his window. I'm looking at examples of mail art that I've received, or naked mail that I've received. I have a giant green crayon that's a piggy bank that my friend Lisa mailed me, and she filled it full of all kinds of crazy art papers and stuff like that, and collage bits. And also Lisa sent me in a different swap. I have a skull that she got from probably the dollar store. I get a lot of stuff for mail art at the dollar store. But I have this skull that she decorated with, like, she put, like, collaged paper on it and then used glitter glue and decorated it up. And
oh, that's
like,
awesome.
I have all kinds of, like, those are my two favorite things, actually. And I mailed you that, little wooden mask.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And that I glittered the shit out of it. I got that in the dollar bins at Joann's.
Mm-hmm.
So anything like that, you can seriously mail anything.
Totally. I've actually gotten a rubber bouncy ball.
Awesome.
Naked mailed.
How did they get the postage on that? Did they attach a label or?
They taped it, I think. How did they do it? I think they just taped a bunch of stamps on or something.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It was actually, I think, even meant to mail. I mean, I think there was like a space to write address and stuff on. I want to do that to like send that to some kids.
That's really cool. And that is kind of a fun thing to do. I thought about doing that with my niece, like just finding something crazy and mailing it to her.
Yeah.
And writing her address on it.
Yeah.
Because another thing I keep forgetting that I have, my friend Karen made a stuffed narwhal out of a sock with felt. And she wrote on it in fabric pen and mailed it to me for a naked mail thing.
Awesome.
Because she knows that narwhals are my favorite animal ever in the world.
They're pretty awesome.
I am kind of obsessed with narwhal a lot.
They are the unicorn of the sea.
They are. And you know how I feel about unicorns, so I don't even have to go there. That's in our fucking theme song, so. But yeah, it is so much fun. I love doing naked mails. As a matter of fact, I think for our next swap, I'm gonna
do another naked
month
mail.
We'll do a naked mail. We haven't done one in a while.
Yeah, and it's a challenge to find something, you know. It's kind of a fun little.
Well, and, you know, I was actually surprised. One of the members, she used a little block of wood that she did a really cool little collage painting on, and then wrote my address on the back of the block of wood and mailed it.
That's kind of what I did for ours when I sent to one. I found something and then kind of added to it, and it was a block of wood with stuff on it, and then added some more stuff.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of crap like that. Now I'm looking through I went through my grandma's blocks. Actually, I'm going to get some of those through her kindling basket. She wouldn't let me take them, but in the town I grew up in, they have a handle factory. They manufacture paintbrush handles.
Interesting.
And stuff like that. And it's a huge old factory that they just have this big kiln, and they cut them out and they dry them, and they give seconds or mistakes away. And like once a month they just put a load of crap out that they can't use. And it's really great kindling because it's super dry. It's kiln dried.
Right.
But when I was a little kid, we used to make crap out of those all the time. We would use them for toy guns, and we made all kinds of stuff out of them. But those would be fun to use for a naked mail.
Yeah.
I might grab a few of those. Mm-hmm. They're pretty neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's fun, and I have had the best reactions from our mail carrier for naked mail stuff.
Right.
Like, I even had my friend Denise did have you ever seen those little stuffed animals? They're made out of that, what is that shit called? It's that stuff that the postage envelopes are made out of.
Bubble wrap?
No, it's crap. I can't think of the name of it. It's like white, and it's kind of fibery but slick.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're stuffed animals made out of those that you can color. They come with pens.
Oh, whoa.
And so she colored a little horse like that, and I heard this little gentle knock on the door. And then I went to the door, no one was there, but when I opened it up, the postal carrier had set the horse down facing the door, like it knocked on the door.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
It was so cool. I love it when they get involved like that. I think it's fun.
Gosh, where can you get those things? Those sound really cool.
You know, I think I've seen them at like Fred Meyer or Croker, which would be for the other coastline. And I think I've even seen them in like Joann's or craft stores too.
Huh.
They're really cute. I'll have to look around and see if I can find one.
Yeah.
They're pretty neato. But I'll look around and see if I can find one somewhere. I know I've seen them at Joann's in that whole little, kind of near those little weird, creepy, round face, alien looking dolls that you can draw onto. I don't get those. They're weird, but.
That sounds really creepy. I will have to look next time I'm at Joann's.
Yeah. They've got all kinds of weird stuff. Kind of like down the kid art aisle.
Oh, okay.
They have all kinds of weird stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of fun. I think the funnest naked mail I ever did was, I went to, I have a picture of it somewhere. I'll have to find it. I went to the dollar store right after Halloween and they had like all of this, they had severed limbs.
That's so awesome. I want to do that sometime.
They have like a severed arm and a severed foot. And so I think for the foot, I drew like a tattoo on the ankle. And then I wrote the name and address on there. And then for the hand, I sent this thing to my friend, Lisa. It's this speech by this graphic designer. I can't think of his name right now because I'm too tired, but it's so hilarious. I'm going to look it up so I can tell people what it is. His motto is "Fuck you, pay me." And it's because it's the whole thing about people devaluing your work if you work in a creative field.
Right.
People always want to do trades or, stuff like that. And so he does a whole like speech called "Fuck You, Pay Me." And I wrote that on the palm of the hand.
That's awesome.
I mailed to her. But when when you go into the post office and after hours and you pull the little thing out and you can throw all your stuff all your packages that already have prepaid postage on them in, and then you close it. And I just thought, how fucking gross does it look with all these severed limbs in this big bin that I'm just shoving in the wall at the post office?
That's awesome. I totally want to do that one year. That's so funny. I thought a rubber chicken would be a funny one to send to.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. You can, Mike Montero, that's his name. You can look him up and I'll link the video in the episode notes just so you can see what I'm talking about. This doesn't really have anything to do with mail art, but it's totally hilarious, and I think everybody should watch it. And I think all artists should actually watch it because I think you should value your work and not let people devalue you.
Absolutely.
Like I said, you can use literally anything, and I think that the dollar store is an especially great resource for looking for naked mail stuff, wandering around in there. Toy stores, I mailed just a toy flying squirrel.
Oh my god.
It was really funny. Silly stuff. I love it. And it can be altered art. You can decorate it. You can not decorate it. You can just whatever. Just drop it in the mail.
Right. Yeah, that's a really fun one.
I get kind of giddy waiting to see what people are going to think when they get there. When they receive their naked art. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also do, like I said, postcards.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have to be postcard size. So, they can be standard postcard size. I buy, what did I just do with that thing? I was just telling somebody in our mail art group about it today. Strathmore sells little pre-made postcard blanks with watercolor paper on little tablets.
Awesome.
And so you can straight up watercolor on them. You can draw on them. You can collage. I always collage on them. I like collaging for that kind of stuff, but you can do rubber stamps.
Mm-hmm.
So anything. And like I said, they don't have to be the standard 4x6 inch postcard. I think for the Valentine one that we did, I cut great big hearts out of the side of cereal boxes and just collaged on one side and wrote on the plain brown side. Cereal boxes are actually pretty cool. That's a cool way to reuse those.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those work great for lots of projects. Yeah, I actually have a big stamp that's a postcard stamp. So you could stamp, it says postcard. It's got what it looks,
Like the backside where it has the little divider line and
Yeah, and where the stamp should go and everything. Yeah, I have a big stamp like that.
I want one of those really bad.
Yeah.
So, they're really cool.
Yeah, you should look on eBay. It's a Stampin' Up stamp. I think it's probably retired now.
I have a friend who's still my friend Becky's a distributor, and she said that she might be able to find one for me, but she didn't know that they still made them.
Yeah, it was like last year or something. So you can almost always find that stuff on eBay though.
I'll look around for one because they're pretty neat. And then the other option that we always do is altered envelopes.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I always find the term altered a little bit confusing in that scenario because it's an envelope. You're not making it not an envelope. But,
right.
We're like,
it should be a decorated envelope.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a decorated envelope, but you can make really pretty envelopes. I've gotten some pretty cool things. And again, some people, like the last altered envelope swap that we did, the person who mailed to me sent me a whole bunch of, it was the green theme for March.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did. And so I didn't want to go like St. Patrick's Day because some people are weird about holidays. They don't want to do holiday themed stuff. So I just said green theme, and you can interpret it as St. Patrick's Day or you can interpret it as spring or whatever. But she filled it full of all kinds of green, like there were some fake like silk leaves, everything in it was green, but it was all like collage materials and stuff I could use in art and little goodies and in Fedra and all that kind of stuff. But it was all green along with the theme. So
that's really cool.
I thought it was kind of cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, my friend Bruce used to, he still does, paint the envelopes like the big manila envelopes. I've got a few of his. They're just so cool.
Oh, that's really pretty. That could be a really cool challenge, like manila envelope paintings.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
I should be writing this shit down because I will not remember it in the morning.
Good thing it's on record.
Yeah, I was going to say, good thing I'll have to edit this episode and I'll listen to it like 80 times before it ever goes out. So I won't be able to forget it.
That's right.
But yeah, that's really neat though. I like doing that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just thought about other things like, you could even do... Sometimes a naked mail or mail art could be like the package is what the art is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought about maybe trying to do a cigar box challenge or like decorate the outside of cigar boxes or stuff like that. And you can actually look on Pinterest. Has a lot of really great examples and resources for if you just type in mail art.
Really?
There are a lot of people that have some really cool mail art boards up. I've actually even toyed with the notion of maybe creating a Pinterest account for this show.
Oh, yeah.
Where we could put examples and stuff up, but I don't even keep up with my own Pinterest, so we'll see about that. I have a hard time doing that. But yeah, on Pinterest, if you search Pinterest and just type in mail art, you will see all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to do that tonight.
So, if you can stay awake that long.
Yeah.
So, I know.
So lots of fun things to do with mail art. The ideas are kind of endless, huh?
Yeah, I'm always trying to find new, fresh ways to challenges or ways to make it interesting for our mail art group that we do. But, like, I had one lady suggest maybe doing paper doll mail art, but I think it's an interesting idea, but I don't really know how I would... Maybe, like, you could make the paper doll on the envelope, like a manila envelope, and then fill it with paper doll clothes or something. Or
yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
It could almost be like a naked mail or something, or...
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she needs to elaborate on that more.
I actually will ask her to do that. But yeah, I think you should try. You don't have to belong to a group. You don't have to be an artist per se. You don't have to be someone who calls yourself an artist. Like, make a cool postcard and mail it to someone, anyone.
Totally. I have a friend that we both moved opposite directions when I moved. So she moved to Southern Oregon and then we moved to Northern Washington. And I worked with her and I just, we would text a lot and email and I had to mail her a couple things. And so then I did some mail art to her, and I super decorated it. And it was really fun to see the next letter that she sent me. She had found the flattest beads that she could find and taped them onto a piece of watercolor paper and like decorated around the beads and then, you know, put it in an envelope and sent it. But I thought it was so fun that, like, you know, she was like, oh, now I got to send something back that's kind of arty, you know, so it kind of challenges that other person because they're like, oh, wait, this person just sent me something really cool. Well, maybe I need to send them something cool, and it could just start, you know, a pen pal situation or you know, inspire somebody.
That's true. And I think if you mail anyone who's remotely creative a decorated, even just a decorated envelope, if you draw little flowers or something, it's almost like license to just, it's giving them permission to just get creative on their own. Right.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I just love mailing stuff, you know, even if you just find something little, you know, because, I think it does inspire people.
It does.
And, you know, we've sort of lost that with email and Facebook and everything. Yeah. Is that people don't mail stuff anymore. And, you know, I'm sure like our moms and our grandmothers and our great grandmothers have boxes of letters that they sent back and forth. And we don't have that anymore. I mean, I have a lot of letters that I used to send from camp, or my friend and I used to send each other letters. But, you know, you sort of lose that. And it's just lost, I think, because of social media.
Yeah, social media. And I always feel like the only thing that ever happens in my mailbox is crappy stuff. Like,
right, yeah, you want something fun.
People are sending me bills and shit, and bad news and junk mail, and that's actually a really cool way to recycle your junk mail too. I've gotten stuff that people have like used, you know, those big advertisement flyers that you get in the mail. They're like a giant size postcard. They've used those and like kind of like I had one lady that a friend that vandalized, like drew like devil faces and devil horns and glasses all over it, and then she like glued paper on the backside so she had a fresh surface to write on. But you know, you just do all kinds of stuff like that. That's really a
great idea.
But yeah, I used to love getting mail like when I was a kid, and I always have tried to be like the kind of aunt that, because my niece doesn't live near us, and my husband's nieces, our other nieces are in Albany, and they're older and they're busy. They're not cool. We're not cool enough for them anymore.
Right.
But I always try to mail fun stuff. So that's even just a neato thing to do, to like, just for kids to get involved in. I think it's kind of a cool way to maybe encourage kids to mail things through the mail more.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's just fun. Yeah, I think with kids too. Yeah, they can get really creative with it. For sure.
The glitter packets that I mailed your son, I almost thought about just because they were on that piece of cardboard, and I really seriously thought about just writing his name on the back of it and naked mailing them, but I was afraid that the glitter would come off, like, of the card in the mail, and then, I don't know, I would have some kind of U.S. Post Office jihad against me for making a glitter explosion in the mail. Because that's really fine glitter.
Oh my god.
Because they already hate, like, the grumpy guy at my post office, if I come in with something that's heavy on glitter, I try to seal it on. Like, I spray.
Yeah.
Like the little flower mask that I mailed you, I sprayed the crap out of that with clear coat.
That surprisingly doesn't, like, not much glitter comes off of it.
You should have seen it before it had 4 layers of clear coat on it.
Right.
Because there was a trail through and my son and husband get so irritated with me. They're like, God, why are you doing this? It's like a fairy fucking exploded in here. It's bad. So maybe go easy on the glitter with your mail art. I don't know.
Or not.
Or not, because I totally don't. Whatever. Who am I telling to go easy on the glitter?
My boys always have glitter somewhere on them, and like on babies' scalps for some reason, it just like really sticks.
It does stick to baby scalps. You're right.
And they have that fine hair.
You'll never get it out.
No.
No, I still have glitter on. I think at Christmas time we were gone out of town, And I came home, and I think I told you about this. My kitty cat, I left the door to my office open, and she got one of my little containers of that super fine loose glitter, the like fairy dust kind.
Oh, yeah.
And she was playing with it, and she must have whacked it down the stairs.
Oh.
And when it hit the bottom, the lid popped off. And when I came, she was covered in glitter. Like, that's how I knew something happened, because she came up and stood underneath the light. Like, she got on the arm of the couch, so the lamp was shining on her. And I'm like, why are you sparkly, kitty?
You look like a vampire
Yeah. You like the lame kind of vampire. And so then she got up and kind of walked away. She was acting weird. And I walked around the corner, and right at the bottom of the stairs, there was glitter everywhere. And that was in December. And I am still sweeping and vacuuming glitter, because it was right on the molding. So it kind of went so underneath the molding along the wall. So we're getting off track about glitter again. Yeah, we should probably wrap this one up. We're getting close to the end. But yeah. So mail art is awesome. And you should
some art
totally do it. Yeah. Mail some art to a friend. Mail some awesome art to your grandma.
Yeah, grandmas love that.
Grandmas love that shit. Your grandma or your mom will totally fucking put it on her refrigerator.
That's right.
And let's be real. I don't care how old you are. I am 41 years old, and I still get excited when my mom puts something that I did on her refrigerator.
Yeah.
So, you know, she even put my my report cards. They weren't report cards, but my GPA printouts when I was in college. She stuck them to her refrigerator.
That's awesome.
It's because I didn't get grades that she wanted to advertise when I was in high school. So it was all bad then. But
that's so funny.
But yeah, you should totally mail some art to people. It will make them happy, and it'll be fun, and you don't have to like be in a fancy group to do it, or you can make your own mail art group.
That's right.
Yeah, just, make swaps with people all the time. But anyway, if you have any awesome mail art ideas that we did not talk about today, please email them to us at 2artsygals@gmail.com. We would love to hear from it. And seriously, folks, no one has emailed us yet. So send us some fucking email, man. Tell us you're out there. And if you want to see pictures of mail art or links to some cool mail art stuff, I'll put them up in the episode notes for this episode, as I always do. And you can check that out at our blog, which is 2artsygals.wordpress.com. And you can subscribe to us on Stitcher and download the free app, especially if you don't have an iPhone. That is a really good way to go. If you subscribe to our podcast, then you don't have to worry about wondering when our new episode's up. It'll just automatically be in the app. And the same thing with iTunes. Subscribe to us there. So, yeah, you should do all that stuff. And you could also give us some awesome reviews. That would be very helpful. So, anyway, I hope that you all do some mail art and you enjoy it. And that's that. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Night.